So, in a story published today, the AP took a pretty interesting look at the socialism attacks circulated by the GOP in the context of next year's battleground race for the Senate seat currently held by Cory Gardner. So, the story opens with a scene at Gardner, a campaign fundraiser at a National Guard armory, a thing that is apparently totally normal, asking fellow Republicans to stand up and fight against the rising socialist tide. The red tide is coming, folks! Oh no. So Gardner said at this Alamosa County Lincoln Day dinner. So again, interesting fact, Abraham Lincoln once exchanged friendly letters with Karl Marx via the American ambassador in London. So that's a fun fact. So the AP talked to a bunch of people in Colorado about socialism and tried to gauge their fears about it. And it came out exactly what you would expect. Republicans and Republican-leaning independents said the fear was real. Moderates said either justified that fear or pivoted to pointing out Trump's relationship with the classic socialist Vladimir Putin. And other Democrats and Democratic-leaning voters said they didn't care. A sample of 2 unaffiliated voters made it obvious which way they lean politically. Avery Jones of Westminster said, quote, taxes kill. While she's eager to improve her family's health coverage, again, that I cannot overemphasize enough how big a deal is if you brought on health care. That's the number one issue, because if you don't have health, you're dead, and you need health to survive. Like, this is pretty much the number one issue for everybody. It's that simple. So, yeah, a local Democratic official who spoke to the AP did say that the attacks could have some effect. Or Democrats can vote Republican because they vote their pocketbooks. Adam County Commissioner Eva Henry, who served on the new Colorado Governor Jared Polis transition team, told AP. But Bernie Sanders did win the Democratic caucus, interestingly. But I think it's going to be very interesting and important to distinguish himself, the Democratic Socialists and the Socialists. I think that's going to be important. And I think it'd be very interesting to see what would happen is how they can distinguish themselves policy-wise and get away from labels, because that could scare the American people and really open up possible media manipulation. That could be not something you really want to fight against. I mean, it's possible to fight against it, but if you don't have to, again, why would you want to? I think embracing the socialist label, especially early on, especially in America at this moment, would be a mistake. Just that simple. All right. Joe Biden. Definitely not a socialist, right? Another attempt by Joe Biden to look ahead to possibly try to improve his standing to get past the 30-year-old controversy about his appalling treatment of Anita Hill. At this point, he thinks he does 10 statements of vague regret. He gets a free coffee with the next one, it seems. Here's what she says. Here's what he says, refusing absolutely to apologize for how he treated Anita Hill. Take a listen. It was on Good Morning America here with his wife and Robin Roberts.
In moving forward and deciding to run, you reached out to Anita Hill. She has recently said, when asked if she felt it was an apology that you had extended, she said no. She said, I cannot be satisfied by simply saying I'm sorry for what happened to you. I will be satisfied when I know there is real change and real accountability and real purpose.
Well, see, I think that's what she told me. I was grateful she took the call. And one of the things I don't want to get in our private conversation, but the point is that, look, I was chairman of the committee. I believed her from the very beginning, but I was chairman. She did not get a fair hearing. She did not get treated well. That's my responsibility. And I committed that I am determined.
You didn't treat her well. You were the chairman of the committee.
To it that we basically changed the culture in this country, where a woman is put in a position where she is disbelieved. As the committee chairman, I take responsibility that she did not get treated well.
All right, so that's some progress there, taking responsibility. But it's very important. I'm sorry for what happened to you. I wouldn't be I don't want to hear that. She says, I will be satisfied when I know there's real change and real accountability and real purpose to correct the issues that are still there. And she thinks Joe Biden doesn't have that. And I mean, based on what he's been saying, I don't see how anyone could really agree with him. Like, I mean, he still says he's not the one to say, okay, we're just absolutely refusing to say, I did this wrong. I should have been fair. It was me. Not speaking in vague terms, saying, I could just generally, I could have done a better job. We could have done a better job. Me. And it's a difference. It's a difference. And it's hard to believe that statement saying, "Oh, I believed her from the very beginning." He is unwilling to own up to the fact that he himself did not treat her well, saying, "quote I don't think I treated well. I treated her badly." Saying, and it seems he feels that way still. Maybe he'll get it right on his 286th attempt. You're still hoping, right? It's pretty incredible, this face plant that we see. One of the worst things about modern life, in addition to things like crushing student loan loan debt and the health insurance deductibles people have to face out there, and the proliferation of goddamn endgame, is brand Twitter. Corporation Twitter. If you're not cursed by Twitter, you could easily expand this to the familiar tone that products and advertisements will strike with you a smoothie bottle talking to you like it's your friend, saying, quote, "Recycle me, there's 3 servings of fruit in here, but don't drink me too fast." So, Denny's doing it, the CIA does it, Wendy's does it, and now Chase Bank does it. Hashtag Monday Motivation, the thing that happens every Monday on Twitter. This is a Chase tweet, no joke. Why is my balance low? Bank account, make coffee at home. Bank account, eat the food that's already in the fridge. Bank account, you don't need a cab, it's only 3 blocks. I guess we'll never know. Bank account, seriously? This is, again, it's not the best at all. Really not at all. So, saying, quote, I don't think it really doesn't need much saying how bad that is. It's one thing for millennials to roast themselves for buying a Seamless when there's an awful tortilla in the fridge that they could eat through their tears, but it does not work when it's coming out of the voice of the bank that received $12 billion of government bailout in 2008. There was a really good tweet on this, but I forget where it came. Sheesh. It's what? Stop. And they tweet out hashtag Monday Motivation, tweet better, in response to that. So someone had, I wish I remember who it was that said that on Twitter, but it was a really good response. Something about like how they got 12 billion. Just enough is a freaking enough with this guy. All right. I literally just turned to Twitter and Jacob Bull is... Wow. Okay. Apparently Jacob Bull just got caught on tape trying to concoct a sexual assault smear against Pete Buttigieg and promising to make the accuser wealthy. Now the supposed victim says Wool and the lobbyist Jack Berkman made it all up. So they got pretty much absolutely embarrassed. Wow. Wow. That's funny. That is breaking Jacob Bull news, everybody. Breaking Jacob Bull news. If you don't remember, Jacob Bull is a guy who tried to gin up sexual assault claims against Robert Mueller. He tried to say he tried to say Robert Mueller did sexual assault. Ilhan Omar married her brother or something to get into the country. And that, pretty much everyone on the left is like a socialist. He's just an incredibly bad right-wing smear merchant. And it's very interesting to see that he's finally getting a little bit some of his own here. So funny stuff. So you can see he says, wow. Now we got that story here. Breaking Jacob Bull news for you. Got a little sidetrack there. We now turn to Ilhan Omar. She's made her view on Meghan McCain crystal clear. She said over the weekend on The View, when we're having conversations about anti-Semitism, we should be looking at the most extreme on both sides. I would bring up Congresswoman Ilhan Omar and some of her comments that got so much attention. In my opinion, Nancy Pelosi wasn't heard enough in response to her trafficking anti-Semitic language. So she says, a quote, "Oh, bless her heart. Oh, bless her heart." So the Twitter spat obviously came after police said 19-year-old John Ernest opened fire inside a synagogue near San Diego as worshippers celebrated the last day of Passover, killing one woman and wounding the synagogue's rabbi, 2 others said on Saturday. So again, many elected officials came out, they decried this, but the fact that Meghan McCain, How stupid do you have to be to see a white supremacist? By the way, white supremacists have committed literally every single piece of violence, domestic terrorism in this country, I feel like, since Orlando. And I mean, a large majority, by any possibility that you could look at, you got just time and time again, we see the fact that there is continuous right-wing violence all the time. And Ilhan Omar, about time, really, in my opinion, that she stood up and tweeted out against this idiot. So, like, the fact that, like, it's unbelievable. Like, she literally, she's obviously on the left. And the fact that, like, she is antagonizing this guy, she's pushing him to do what he's doing. She is behind the violence. Is in any way, it's absolutely ridiculous. She only doesn't like it because she loves Israel. She loves Israel. She loves AIPAC, and she's very, very well connected to those powerful interests. She is threatened when they are threatened, and boy, is she going to be threatened. Boy, is she going to do a little you-know-what fest on tomorrow's edition of The View, and boy, is it going to be fun to watch. Anyway, yeah, that pretty much about does it with Ilhan Omar, and yeah, so that's about that with this. A good tweet there by Katie Porter. This was back in the Chase thing we were talking about before. Hey Chase, try paying your workers more. Families aren't spending frivolously; they're trying to pay rent. So yeah, I do want to get to some of those good Chase tweets. Have a little bit of a laugh about roasting Chase, about how awful they were about that. Just this thing, all you guys do is just oh God. How about Chase? Maybe you don't need a goddamn $12 billion bailout from the government because you're so bad at spending your goddamn money. That would be more desirable. Yeah. So you see Elizabeth Warren. She obviously had something to say on this. Yeah. Chase, why aren't customers saving money? Taxpayers, we lost our jobs, homes, and savings, but gave you a $25 billion bailout. Workers, employers don't pay living wages. Economists, rising costs plus stagnant wages equals zero savings. Chase, guess we'll never know why customers aren't saving money. Everyone, seriously? Yeah, so that's Elizabeth Warren weighing in on this. As you knew she had something to say. That was a tweet, by the way, I was thinking of that I couldn't remember. All right. That's it for us. We are back with a new episode of The Wake Up. We will see you tomorrow. This is Newsflash.